do that. Hello everybody, welcome. I'm making Maria. I am your Chalk Couture independent designer. Welcome. Wait till you see what we're doing tonight. We're gonna etch a little bit of glass. We're gonna do a little rub and buff. We're gonna do a little chalking on the glass. We're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight with a beautiful pattern transfer and a sentiment. So we're gonna do a little bit of layering, and we're going to talk a little bit about why you need background transfers. So I'm making Maria. I'm your Chalk Couture independent designer. Welcome to my replay or to my live, whichever one you happen to be watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. I am going to show you how an amazing product called Chalk Couture can change your life. If you're a crafter, it requires no weeding, you're not cutting things with a machine, you're literally squeegeeing chalk paste over a beautiful silk screen transfer and creating something quickly and easily. It's foolproof to use, anybody can do it, and there's lots of different mediums in which you can use it with. So it is kind of addictive, I gotta say, it's a little addictive. At least that's how I feel about it, and I know many of you feel the same way, because you're as addicted to it as I am. So, welcome. So what we're going to do tonight is I have a piece of glass from a glass frame. I actually have it on the floor next to me, drying. I spray painted the frame gold, and it's not quite dry yet. And now it's running because I turned it on me. But basically, it's still wet, but I have a gold frame. I need to spray paint the edges, but I did this real quick in the dark. So I have a gold frame that our glass is going to sit in. We're going to etch the back of the glass, and then we are going to chalk over it. It's going to be a very cool technique. We are going to use a little bit of gold rub and buff as well, I think, which helps the etching be more visible. Sometimes etching can get lost. Especially if you don't put etching in front of a window. So if you put a little bit of rub and buff on it, and rub and buff comes in multiple colors. There's silver, there's gold, there's brass, there's antique. There's choices. Let's see, how many choices does it tell me? No, of course not. But it is a very easy. It's a blend of carnubia, waxes, metallic powders, and pigments that create a finish no paint can duplicate. It's very easy to use. It's called Rub and Buff. Comes in a myriad of different colors. I bought this at my friend Michael's house. Very easy to find. It's not expensive, and it will make your etching be more visible. It actually, if you truly love the etched look, though, don't use it, because it alters it a little bit, so you don't necessarily know that it's etched anymore. So you just want to keep that in mind. So we're going to etch the glass first, and then we're going to see, do we need the rub and buff or don't we? So what I have here is I have my piece of glass, I have my frame on the bottom drying with the spray paint. I have an amazing sentiment that is one of my favorites. Fall is proof that change is beautiful. This is a B-size transfer. It's one of the brand new ones that came out with the new catalog release. B-size transfers are $14.99, and the name of it is Fall is Proof. So you can get this one right off of the website. This one, however, is a D-size transfer. So it's 18 by 18, and it's all these beautiful leaves. It's called Forest Leaves Pattern, and it's so cool. It is so cool. This is part of the Christmas in July sale that's going on right now in the Making Maria Crafted community. I only have one, so if somebody wants it, let me know, because I'm going to use the other one I have right now. So I have two of them, but I'm going to use one of them. I've never used this pattern, but lately I'm really kind of into patterns and backgrounds, and I think what's nice about them is there's just so many different things that you can do with them. They just take your crafting capabilities up lots of notches, because they're just so versatile. Like, you could just simply use the leaves. You could use it as a pattern. You could make a pillow. You could just use it the way it is. You could put a sentiment over it. You could block it out and have a negative space in the middle and put a sentiment. I mean, seriously, possibilities are endless. So what we're gonna do is kind of strategically place it on our glass, and then we are going to etch the glass with etching cream. This is the only kind of etching cream I personally know of exists. Again, you can buy it at my friend Michael's house, any of my friend Michael's type places. So it's pretty, easily accessible. I have a big bottle. This big bottle has lasted a very long time in lots of different etching projects. You don't need this big of a bottle. You just need, there's a little tiny bottle. If you're going to etch something once in a while, this size works fine. Or the little size is all you need. And then we're going to use Rub and Buff. So that is how we are going to create. So etching truly could not be simpler. You smear it on, you let it wait 5 minutes, and then, hello, Miss Angie. And then after 5 minutes, you rinse it off, and you have chemically changed the glass so that your pattern will appear on the glass. It's subtle, it's beautiful. It's a very nice way to, once again, take your transfers and use them in a completely different way. One of the reasons why I love this product is I don't have to just use it with chalk paste on chalkboards. I can use it on so many different surfaces with so many different mediums. So I can use it with my chalk paste, I can use it with ink and heat set it, and then it's permanent, so I can use it on fabrics and textiles and, ceramics and glass and all kinds of fun things. Stainless steel that I can put in the oven and heat set, and then I can put them in the dishwasher. Then I can use it with foiling compound, which makes beautiful foiled projects, and I can use it with etching cream, which is what we're going to do this evening. Ooh, Angie loves etching cream. Well, Angie, then we're going to be right up your alley here tonight. Hello, Miss Nevada Nicole. Hello, Miss Carol. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we're taking this beautiful leaf pattern. It's called Forest Leaves pattern. We're going to stick it on our glass. We're going to etch it. Put a little bit of Rub and Buff on it, and then we're going to chalk Fall is Proof, Change is Beautiful over it. And I think we're going to do this in the new pomegranate color. I think. Because I think the goldie and the pomegranate will go together. I have spray painted the sign, or the frame. It's on the floor next to me drying. I have to tell you, the spray paint fumes in here are a little much. So if I start getting a little more wonkier than I normally am, you'll know why. So the first thing I need to do is I need to take my transfer and I need to flip it over, and I need to find my Sharpie because my Sharpie seems to be missing. There it is. Take a Sharpie and I'm going to write on the back of the transfer, Forest Leaf Patterns. Forest Leaves. We'll just do that. Okay. I do that for 2 reasons. Number one, it tells me which side of my transfer is the back side of the transfer, so it makes it very easy for me to put my transfers away. I don't know about you, but I don't really like to clean up. So if I go in my other room where my sink is, I find all kinds of transfers. So it makes the guessing game of putting them away so much easier because it tells me exactly which transfer goes on which backer sheet. It also tells me which side of the backer sheet is the back. So that makes it much easier to put them away. So this transfer, I'm like 99% sure is retired. I only have one of them. It is part of the sale in the crafty community. I'm going to carefully remove my backer sheet. I'm going to set this aside. Backer sheet is important. Now, I am going to take this beautiful design and I'm going to stick it to glass. So glass is the stickiest of the surfaces. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but my transfer is going to stick to glass. So by fuzzing it, which is what I'm doing right now, is I'm picking up the lint from my towel and it's making my transfer not as sticky, which I know it seems totally counterintuitive. Angie, have you never used foiling compound? Oh, Angie. Ha! Yes, Angie, you can use Heidi Mink's foiling compound. You can use it with, and then you stick it through the laminator. Yeah. And then you stick your deco foil over it, and it takes it to a whole new level. I'm trying to think, what do I have around me that we have foiled? I have things around me that I foiled, but not that I've used my transfers on. I do have one. Do you remember that fern? I have one right up there that I did in gold on navy blue paper, and then I framed them. Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. So those are just kind of, so I'm fuzzed enough. So I've got my fuzzing, my transfer is still going to be uber sticky. And that's good, right? We want it to be uber sticky. So I'm just kind of trying to place on the glass which part of the pattern I want because it's not all the same. That was beautiful. Oh, the fern. Oh, with the foil, yeah. It's one of my favorite things that I've ever done. Well, first of all, it's on navy blue, and I happen to love navy blue. I want the acorn, and I want the leaves. So I think there's a little acorn in the pattern. I want the acorn. So I think we're going to, I'm actually going to be sneaky. I'm going to leave my transfer down flat, and I'm going to put the glass on the transfer instead of the reverse. Because I think it will be easier. I hope it will be easier. Maybe not. I want to line up the edge. Okay. Pretty close. I'm doing it backwards. I'm going to be careful when I flip it over because I don't want my sticky part to stick to itself. So now I'm going to flip my transfer over. All right. You need to smooth it out. I got a little bit of wonky air down here, so I'm going to smooth that out. Okay, so I can't believe, Angie, that you have never foiled. All you need is deco foil, a foiling machine, or fancy laminator is really all you need. Etching cream. And there's more than one kind of etching cream. Foil, etching cream, and something to put it on. And typically you do that on paper. Okay, so I'm going to seal my transfer down, and now I'm going to, while this is processing, I'll grab my fern and you can see it. So etching cream smells horrible, quite honestly. It always smells icky. It's kind of got that rotten egg smell. You do need to stir it. I learned that. So stir it up. And then I'm going to blob it all over here. We're going to leave it for 5 minutes. And it's going to do its magic. Because it is magic. I do think etching is magic. Okay. We'll need more than that, but I'm going to wipe off my all-purpose knife I use for everything and anything. Okay. Actually, I probably need that still. So you just kind of blob it all over. Can you see? Okay, you can see. You just kind of blob it all over your glass. I'm going to need more than that. Where'd my knife go? You can always put it back in the container just like chalk. So don't feel like, you're going to pull out too much of it. It smells like rotten eggs to me. And it's combining now with the spray paint smell. So it's really pleasant in this room right now. So I am just smearing the etching cream, which is a chemical. So now, you're going to do it the right way. You're not going to do it the way Maria is doing it. You would have gloves on, right? You would be in a well-ventilated, I am in a well-ventilated area, but you would be even more like doing it, by a window would probably be the ideal. Or outside would be even better. I like to do it on thick. I don't know why. And I do like to leave it on for more than 5 minutes. I just think, I don't know why. It's a mental thing. I think it works better, but it probably in all reality makes no difference. But in my mind, it's etching it deeper. I don't know if that's really true or not, but it is in my mind. And sometimes you really have to wonder how my mind works, right? Oh, did I do go all the way to the edge? So you just blob, 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 and then you let it sit. Making sure you're all covered up. You cannot hurt your silk screen with this. Oops, my edge is way up there. Wow. Need a lot more etching cream than I thought I was going to need. That's the problem with the glass. You can't see the glass. So you just kind of keep going. Okay, now we're to the edge. Okay, Okay, so we're all covered up. Just want to make sure, you know, that I've got every little last spot. Now, normally, this is a bigger transfer. Normally, I would take this to the sink and just rinse it under the sink when we're ready. But in TV land, I can't do that. So, I will put it in my water bath. And I'm going to show you. All right, so I need a clock. So now we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes. I don't typically save these because, again, it has that chemical on it, and I don't want to use it for something else because you never quite know how it's going to chemically react, right? Okay, so I wipe my little fancy knife off, and I will grab the foiling. I can't believe I'm still stuck on that, Angie, that you've never foiled. All right, hang on. Let me grab it. It's a beautiful fern. We have foiled. We foiled cards. We foiled all kinds of stuff. It's something I did a long, long, long time ago. I used to love to foil, and I foiled like everything. Actually, I used copper foil. So Angie, you'll remember this transfer. This is the fern transfer. Hang on, I'm stuck on my box. Hang on. I forgot I have spray paint in here. So foiling, isn't this cool? So it's the fern transfer that what you do is you put your transfer on your paper, and then you spread the foiling compound similar to this. You spread foiling compound over it, pull your transfer off, you put your transfer in the water bath right away and wash it right away. And then when it's dry, you put your deco foil over it and you run it through a laminator, and you get foiled beautifulness. Well, thank you, Miss Angie. I lost you. I need to find you guys again. It's much easier for me to read what you're saying when you're down here. Okay. I wonder if you could use a squeegee to spread. I'm sure you could. Normally I use a paintbrush, but I used my paintbrush for, what was I doing that I had a big, thick, icky, stripping compound for my gumball machines. I need to get a new paintbrush. Okay, so this is what foiling looks like. And this is the fern on navy blue paper, and when I matted it, it was framed for a while. Oh, wait, there's another one down here. We did a couple of them, I think. This was it in, like, chalk. We did the fern in chalk on paper. I think that's it. I think that's all I got down here in my secret stash of projects. Yeah, that's it. So you can totally chalk or use your transfers on paper. Just fuzz them or wax the paper first. That's my only piece of advice for that. Okay, so we're letting it sit. It's processing. We're gonna pull it off. We're gonna pull the transfer off and put the we're gonna pull the transfer off. We're gonna rinse off the glass, and it's good to go when we're done. And then we're gonna see, do we need the rub and buffer, don't we? And then we're gonna chalk. Fall is proof that change is beautiful on the front of it. And I think we're going to use pomegranate, which is a super fun new color. It's one of the new in vogue colors that just came out. Very similar to Current Jam, but Current Jam was a little darker. This is a little pinkier, a very, very pretty color. So, and it's, for some reason, that color speaks fall to me. I don't know why, but it does. So this leaf pattern, I only have one of. It's part of the Crafty Community Christmas in July sale, which is coming to an end. That deal is in the Making Maria Crafty community, so if you're not a member of that, you can comment, add me, message me, or search it in your search bar and request to be added into that group. But that's where the special deal is for Christmas in July. And it's not all Christmas. It's Christmas, Halloween, and fall, basically. So I'm hoping my frame is dry. I spray painted it in the dark. Oh, it's pretty dry. So I spray painted it gold. It's not done yet. I still need to do the edges and stuff. Kind of a gold metallic spray paint because I thought it would go well with the rub and buff. I'm kind of into like a rose gold right now. In fact, I'm also working on spray painting a pillar stand gold because I have another project that we're going to use that one for coming up. I like planning. I haven't planned projects in a while, so it's kind of fun. So we're getting close to our 5-minute mark. So the easiest way for me to tell, yeah, we're getting good. We're getting good. We're going to take it off here in a minute. Be careful that you don't get it on your fingers. Wear gloves, well-ventilated area. Probably, you know, you wouldn't want to splash this in your eye either. So maybe glasses or protective eyewear wouldn't be a bad idea either. Rub and Buff is the original wax metallic finish. And this one is antique gold. So it goes well with the frame, which is why we're going to use that one. So I think we've been 5 minutes. Don't you think we've been 5 minutes? So I'm going to carefully remove my transfer. Because again, it's on glass, so it's very stuck. I started in the corner, but I don't pull it from the corner because I don't want to stretch it. And I carefully, so wait till you see it just with, the etching cream is still on it, so right now it's very easy for you to see what it's going to look like. It won't be this easy to see once it's etched. So this also gives you an indication of, had we chalked this in white, what it would look like. Okay, this is cool. So I'm pulling my transfer off, and I'm actually going to put it next to me because it needs to go directly to my water bath. And I need to put this in my water bath right now so that we can rinse off. So see how easy right now it is for you to see the etching cream? Always be careful when you use a piece of glass, cut glass, because it's very easy to cut your fingers on these edges, so be very, very careful. It will be like the worst paper cut you've ever had. All right, so this is what the etching cream looks like. I'm trying to get you away from the glare. So this is what it looks like before you wash it off. So it kind of gives you a really good indication of what the pattern looks like. We're going to stick it in the water bath. We're going to wash that etching cream right off, and then it will be much more subtle because it's etched into the glass. And then, I mean, isn't this gorgeous just this way? I almost don't want to wash it off, but we need to wash it off. We're going to wash it off, and then we'll see, do we need the rub and buff or don't we? So I'm going to pull my water bath over. I actually remembered it tonight, which was good. Pull my water bath and try to not spill it. I'm going to stick our glass right in it, and I'm just going to gently rub that etching cream right off. Again, being super careful that I don't rub my fingers along the edge of the glass and cut them wide open. Very easy. And again, you would not be doing this way, okay? You would be wearing gloves because I am now touching the acid. Can you put the cream on and then pull the transfer off and let it set? I'm pretty sure you can, Nicole, because what would the difference be? Other than there's still quite a bit of it on my transfer. So I don't know why you couldn't do that, but it doesn't hurt your transfer. So you can totally leave it on. It's not going to hurt your transfer. So could you do that? Yes, you could totally do that. All right, so I'm going to flip our glass around now. Again, being super careful on the edges. And you would wear gloves because that burning acid on your fingers doesn't feel good. My fingers are desensitized to everything, so I gave up on this stuff a long time ago. Except they're not desensitized to the paper cut that you get from glass that hurts like a banshee and bleeds all over. All right, so we're pretty well rinsed off. Just got to get the gloppy stuff off. But yeah, you could totally do that, Nicole. I'm giving you anxiety, Angie. I know. You have to be really careful around the edges. Okay. So I've got it all off. All right. I'm going to grab my towel, stick it on my towel, move my water bath back out of the way. I found a transfer today stuck to my towel. One of those little snowflakes we used, was it last night or the night before? I could not find the darn snowflake anywhere, and I'm like, what the heck? And then I found it today. It's stuck to the towel. Okay, so I'm drying off the glass. last, you notice I'm drying it off with the towel and not my bare fingers, which would then, you know, cut them. So be careful. Okay, and now flip her over. Ooh, this is pretty, but I do think we need the rub and buff. It will be hard for you guys to see if I don't use the rub and buff. Oh, it's pretty, I can tell. I can tell it worked. Etching is so easy. Only once have I ever etched something that it did not work. And it was a glass candle. It was like a candle holder. It wasn't even the candle itself. But it was a glass candle holder, and there was some kind of coating on that glass, and it would not etch. Very similar to Pyrex. I don't know whatever coating is on Pyrex. You can't etch Pyrex. So there's a couple glasses you cannot etch. Okay, so see how you can, oh, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. Here, let me try if I can get this pulled over. I don't know if that helps you see it. Flip this guy. See how you can see the etching is all there. But it is beautiful. I do feel like we can see it when you hold it up. So I don't know if we need the rub and buff. We're gonna have to decide. Rub and buff does change the look. So I'm just drying this side off because this side was still a little wet. I think we are gonna just rub and buff it because I did the spray paint assuming we were rub and buffing it. That's why I did gold spray paint. So I'm not 100% dry yet. With the backer on it, it may not show as well. I'm not gonna put the backer on the frame. I'm gonna leave it open. So I'm not gonna put the backer in the frame. I'm actually gonna glue the glass in. So it's gonna look like this with the gold frame. I mean, it doesn't have to have it. Let's do one of the leaves. Maybe let's do one of them and see. I'm kind of feeling like once we do one of them, though, we'll end up doing all of them. All right, so just make sure that when you're going to use the rub and buff, you do it on the right side. And you can feel where the etching is because the glass is different. So let's just put a little bit on and see what happens. So the directions say, what does it say? Use the cap to puncture, did that already. Squeeze a small amount onto a fingertip soft cloth or dry Bristle brush. Apply evenly and thinly with gentle rubbing motion. Buff for more luster. Clean hands with soap and water. Oh, you can see it? Okay, good. It is really pretty. I love this pattern. And I was gonna sell all these patterns. I'm so glad I didn't. All right, so I'm just gonna try a little bit of this. And first I'm going to, where'd my cap, where did I just put? It needs to like be stirred up because it's all liquidy. You know how like your ketchup gets? So I'm just gonna do a little stir up. It's not really liquidy, it's a wax, so I'll try it now. See if it comes out a little bit better. Onto our soft rag. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it comes out like toothpaste, almost. So we're gonna take it and let's be methodical about how we do this. Like, so maybe we don't rub and buff all of them. We just do some of them. That would work too. And of course I picked the one on the edge. What was I thinking? Did I not say, stay away from the edge? I did say that. So once I apply the gold, it's going to look totally different than the etching. And you do have to be careful. So see how you can see that now? I have to get it off the glass part because it adheres to the etching, but it also adheres to the regular glass. So you have to get that off. So what I'm doing is I'm taking just a small amount of rubbing alcohol, and I can get where I went over, and it comes right off. It's amazing to me how many things rubbing alcohol solves for. So see how it has a totally different look now? So you can totally see that flower part so much better. Make sense? All right. What I think that loses is it loses the etching. So I don't want to do the whole thing. I just want to do a couple of them so that I tint wax and rub it on. Yeah, I mean, that's really what Rub and Buff is, Kathy, is tinted wax. That's exactly what it is. It's the original wax metallic finish, but it has a metallic part to it. I've never used other kinds of wax. I mean, I know they exist. So I'm just going to do this guy up here. And he doesn't want to get done. Because I'm trying to not get it all over me, and of course that's not working. So you just rub him on, wax on, wax off, right? And then go around the corners. And I got this leaf, so I guess we're doing this leaf too. And just rub it off. Once it dries, you're stuck. It's not, you know, then you have to use the rubbing alcohol to get it off. But until it dries, you can totally buff it off. I'm making a mess. You knew I would be making a mess, right? Of course I'm making a mess. So the key is don't let it dry. So you let it dry, you can get it off. You just gotta get it off. Okay. I do like Rub and Buff just because it gives, you know, it just changes it. Makes etching super easy to see. But it does, you know, no longer really look etched. It just looks goldy. Okay, so I have this guy half done, so I have to finish him off. So we're gonna finish him, and then I'll probably be unbalanced, so we'll have to do this a little guy on the other side to balance him. Maybe. The other thing I find, obviously, as I'm sure many of you find, is when you etch and it's wet, it's hard to see, but once it dries, it's very easy to see. So when you etch and the etching cream is wet, you can't see the image. It has to dry before you can see it. And then as you rub it, it becomes lustrous. Is that a word, lustrous? I could probably wash it off, this whole flower. Or this, not a flower, it's a leaf. I probably could. Let's try that. Let's see if we can just get it off of that one I did by mistake. Because now I've done the whole thing and I really don't like it. Do you think shimmer paste would work? Not sure it would stick enough to the etching. I don't think it, well, then I guess to me, Angie, just use shimmer paste, right? You could totally put this on with shimmer paste. Just do the whole transfer in shimmer paste. Don't even bother to etch it. That would be my take on that. Oh, look, it washes right off. A little elbow grease. And it's not hurting my etching because the etching is in the glass. So there. See? Voila. I'm using baby disinfectant wipe. And a baby wipe. And it's coming right off. Okay. So now we'll just have to decide, do we want to do more of them or not? I mean, I do feel like it could use a little bit more, but maybe not that big one that I did by mistake. I think like the gold or copper shimmer paste would be beautiful etched. Or this transfer would be beautiful in those. All right, so right now we have two. We have this little leaf here and this little flower guy. And I feel like maybe we should do this guy. Should you, yeah. Just to kind of balance him a little. Right? This guy. Or maybe this big guy in the middle. Should I do this big guy in the middle or this guy down here? What do you think? This guy down here? This guy? Or this big guy? The sentiment is going to go over it. So maybe we should do the big guy in the middle because you're not really going to see that part anyway. And I washed off a little of the part I didn't want to wash off. Now I got to put that back. You just rub and buff, rub and buff, rub and buff. I'll pull the frame out too. So you can see the frame one more time. Because the frame is gold. So he's going to sit in here. Like so. Maybe we don't need any more. It should be threes though, right? It should always be an odd number. So we should either do this guy here or this guy. Okay, hang on. Angie is saying, okay, oops, hang on. Angie said bottom. So hang on. I got it. I moved the, taking the frame out. I'm in an opposite direction, I think, of what I was in. All right, that, okay. He was upside down. Whew. Okay, so Angie's saying to do the bottom one. Yep, thank you, I did flip it. And the one on top corner. So this guy and this guy, these two. So there's this big guy, and they're actually the same leaf. So those would be easy to do. Or I could do this like a little corner, but we kind of have a corner on this side. We're going to for sure do this bottom one. Being careful to only do the part of the leaf I want to do. Not the leaves, not his little buddies next to him. And of course, he need his little buddy next to him a little. They're really close together. But we now know it comes off, so. Little corner. Okay, that's what I'm doing then, Angie, because you said. Baby wipes don't work as well as disinfectant wipes. There is part of 2 leaves, do those. Okay, hang on. Hang on, I gotta the stem of his buddy next to him. So I gotta get that off. Okay. He is good to go now. All right, so now we have, hang on, I flipped it around again. Now we have, okay, this is looking good. So these two, I think is what you guys are saying. There is part of 2 leaves. Do those. Okay. Yep. We are all in sync. These little guys right here. And then I'm going to put my cap on my rubbing buff. This is going to look amazing. Like, totally amazing. Thanks, Nicole. Now, you don't need to use as many paper towels as I'm using. I just don't want to get it all over me. And I'm being distracted. You know, when you craft and you're not live, it's a lot easier. Okay. So, this looks super cool. Super cool. All right, I'm going to show it to you in the frame. My frame is not 100% dry. And my edges didn't get spray painted, so this is what we have. I hope you can see it. So we have this little guy, this guy, this guy, and this little guy over here. So it's so you can definitely tell that there's something on the glass. So now, the next step, which side's going to be the top? This side, right? That's the top. So when I chalk it, we're going to chalk this guy. All right, so now I'm going to pull out our, does the wax wash out of the towel? Nicole, you weren't supposed to notice that. Yes, I did get the wax on the towel. I have no idea. It says it comes out with soap and water, so I'm going to assume it will. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'm going to wash my towel and hope it comes out. Yes, I did get it on my towel. Okay, so fall is proof that change is beautiful. So the other thing, I mean, if you really wanted to go to town, you could do some of these in all kinds of different rub and buffs. There's silver, I mean, there's different colors, so you could totally go crazy. Right? And why wouldn't you? If you had the opportunity to go crazy, why wouldn't you? Okay, so I'm just noticing I've got a little etching cream or something on the front of my guy, and I need it to be clean because once I chalk on it, there's no washing it, right? Dry dust only. So the other thing sometimes I do with glass items is I will just rub them down with rubbing alcohol just to get any, especially when you know you're putting something on it and you're not going to be able to wash it anymore. So I'm again holding it with a towel because I don't want to kill myself with the glass. Okay, so we're clean. We're in the right direction. We're gonna fuzz our transfer. Will I seal it? No, Nicole, I won't seal it. I don't like to seal glass. You have to always be careful when you seal glass because of the sheen. So you have to use a gloss on glass. And I always struggle spray painting gloss, getting an even. So I tend not to seal glass unless I can do it in a matte finish. And sometimes you can do it in a matte finish. I mean, I've done it where it was like a little something on it and I sealed it like a lantern. I do a lot of lanterns, but a glass picture frame I won't. What I will do is I will stick a little tiny sticker on it because this is for the fundraiser. I'll stick a little tiny sticker on it that says dry dust only. So short of them spraying it with a thing of Windex. It should be fine. This little guy is super sticky. Super sticky. And I'm going to put him on glass. So I'm going to fuzz him multiple times. And I'm pulling out my, oops, head transfer stuck to him. I'm going to pull out my super fuzzy. Because after a while, I pull all the lint out of these bad boys. I almost have to wash them with dirty clothes so that they get linty again. I did have somebody tell me once that that's because I put them in the dryer. And my lint trap is so efficient, it pulls out all the lint from my towels. But I don't know if I believe that. All right. So I'm going to use my mat to help me line it up. Make sure I'm going to use the lines of the mat to help me get my transfer straight. Fuzzing does help you because I have maneuverability. If I hadn't fuzzed this, it would be sticking instantly. So I'm straight on the bottom, straight on the top. Love it when a good plan comes together. And now, you definitely don't have to seal the rub and buff and the I guess you could wash the rub and buff off. I don't know if over time rub and buff becomes permanent. I don't think so because it's a wax. So I was going to use pomegranate. I think that's our best choice. If we don't like it, we'll wash it off and pick a different color. But I do think the pomegranate will be very pretty with the gold. We don't want to use because the frame is gold, so we don't want to use a shimmer paste because that would be a lot of shimmer. And we're just going to do one solid color because we have the gold, we have the etching. Just doing one color. And you could do a more, see, to me this is a fall color. I don't know, to me it is. They would also be very pretty in navy blue, which is Cadet, is the name of navy blue. It's not called navy blue, it's called Cadet. Nicole, I don't seal a lot of stuff. I don't find the need to seal a lot of stuff as long as people understand it's chalk and they don't, go washing it. But even things I put in my bathroom or by my kitchen sink, I don't usually seal them, and I've never had a problem. So I don't know if that's luck but I've never had a problem in the 3 years I've been doing this. Okay, so I'm going to pull carefully. Notice I'm pulling it from the middle, not from the corner. You don't want to stretch it. Good color choice. Stick this in my water bath so I can rinse that with cool water. Okay, this is pretty. It's a good color choice. So this is, what's the name of this pattern? The leaves. So this is what we have. I'm going to get it in the frame for you. And what I am going to do, don't you love that noise? It's like fingernails on a chalkboard. I am not going to put the backer in here so that it remains. First I'm going to do this so you can see it, if that helps you see it. But because this is a picture frame, it has like the little things you put down to make it stay. I could also run a bead of hot chalk or hot glue around the edges of the frame, and that would make the glass stay in the frame. I'm not going to put the backer. I could put the backer. And again, it would be pretty with the backer because you can see the etching a little bit, not much. And you kind of lose the rub and buff. but I like it clear. Pull that guy out. So, because then I will put a chain on it so you could hang it in a window. And I'll finish correcting the spray paint job on the frame. Because we came home from baseball, we got home at 8:30, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta spray paint the frame. I did it fast, so I didn't get the whole thing. So, that's it. This is our beautiful leaf pattern on our spray painted frame. Fall is proof that change is beautiful. Do you think the color's too light? Do you think I should wash it off and do it in black? Because imagine I'm not going to be behind it. Obviously it's going to be hanging in a window. You can read it. But do you think it would be better in black instead of the pomegranate? Or even white, for that matter. The little words don't pop much, right? It's the little words that are hard to see because it's such a skinny little font. Plus it has the busyness of the background behind it. Yes, the smaller letters are hard to see. Okay, so would you do white or would you do black? What color would you do? See, look. Look, Mom. We're changing our mind. It's that easy. I mean, black, you'll see it. You'll see it with black. I know that black, you'll see it. Nicole says black. Black was what you guys... Okay, everybody says black. We'll go black. It's too hard to see. I love the color. Love the color. But on a window like this, it's hard to see. All right. Well, now I have to wash my transfer. So, I will wash my transfer, do it in black, and take a picture of it tomorrow for you to see it. So that you can see it, because I got to wash my transfer off. So, this is our beautiful background with rub and buff and glass etching. This is really pretty. We have a couple of backgrounds like this for more than one holiday. There's a really cool, and it's also in the Christmas in July. It's a really pretty Christmas tree pattern. There's a couple of really cool patterns that just give you the opportunity to get totally creative with what you do. All right, I'm going to set this down before I cut my fingers with it. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Everybody, aka Nicole and Angie. Yes, Angie, you guys, you're the people that talk to me, and I love it when you talk to me. So thank you for hanging out with me and chatting with me while I craft. It takes a village for Maria to craft. It really does. Maria can't do it on her own. And I talk about myself in the third person. Oh, that's so funny. All right, thank you, people. I will see you tomorrow night, I hope. We have our last baseball game of the season tomorrow night. Oh, darn, I'm so upset. So hopefully I will be home in time tomorrow night to go live again. But yeah, we got baseball tomorrow, so we got to get her done. But thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you have an amazing Thursday, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks, guys. See ya.